Hi everyone, welcome back to The Green Man. I hope you're all well on this Saturday afternoon, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the latest album from Evanescence, The Bitter Truth, released just yesterday on BMG Rights, and it's 12 tracks and the album is about 47 minutes in length. I have to say, even though I've not really followed Evanescence much recently, I was pretty pleasantly surprised by what I heard from them. Evanescence has been around for about 20 years. They're probably most recognised for their first opening debut album, that Fallen album, that you probably would hear the songs from maybe in the pub occasionally, who knows. But Evanescence are pretty well known. And I have quite a lot of respect for them. I think obviously they have an incredibly impressive vocalist in Amy Lee, and they are now backed up as well by a very kind of respectable band as well, with the guitarist, like Troy McClawhorn, who I think is a really good guitarist. He was also in Seether, I think. So there's a lot going for this band, and I was, as I say, quite impressed by what I heard with The Bitter Truth. So we'll start off with what I thought were the real positives. I really enjoyed The Game Is Over. That was a really strong song that got me the hook into the album. I would say that was the one that got me engaged fully in what I was listening to. Yeah, right, was kind of a bit more of a sort of slightly interesting, slightly more kind of slightly dancey, electro-y track going on there. The track I really liked was Feeding the Dark, track number 5, which had this sort of I was going to say genty, but staccato-y chords, which made me feel this is a more sort of to my taste. Actually, it kind of felt like it was, are we going in a slightly progressive metal direction here with Feeding the Dark? I did enjoy that track. That was a good one. Wasted on You was the one that I thought exemplified the strength of Amy Lee's vocals, particularly towards the end of this one. So you kind of really hear those belted out notes towards the end. That, as I say, just exemplify the strength of her vocals. It's also a very good song, I think, and sort of links in, I think, with the theme of self-isolation here, watching the video and stuff. Not entirely sure, but that felt like a message that was being carried across, as really strong emotional message with that song. Another track I quite liked, actually, which was, it's kind of track normally I would sort of maybe not as into, but Use My Voice, it was kind of anthemic and catchy, and I quite liked it. I quite liked its fierceness, and it's obviously making a statement. The two tracks I would say are possibly my favourites were towards the end of the album, which was Far From Heaven. I really liked the understated style of this track, the piano, kind of introduction. As it leads in, it kind of gets, you get the stringed elements, the violins, giving it sort of more and more emotive power, which I think is often where Evanescence really shine, is when they sort of use that understatedness that they have with their some of their songs, but then they build in the sort of more power into the song as it goes along with the instrumentation. I think that is often for me where I've really enjoyed Evanescence in the past as well. My favourite track, perhaps, or the other track that I really liked, was Blind Belief. I thought that was a really good closer to an album, which, as I say, was a pretty good album on the whole. So if I'm going to score this, am I going to score this one? I think I would score it around a 7 out of 10. Sorry if that's a disappointing score if you're a huge fan of Evanescence and you love this album. For me, as I say, it kind of partly exceeded my expectations, I would say, but partly met them as well. There are a few tracks on here that I was kind of less sure about. I thought maybe were just didn't lack the spark of what I would, the other tracks I've been quoting here. I just thought some of those other tracks just lacked that bit of spark for me. And you're very welcome to disagree with me. As I always say with my reviews, they're not necessarily perfect, and they may not necessarily be the same as the view you may hold on the album. But I was just giving my honest opinion on it. I think this is about 7. I still think it's a good album. I'm giving it a pretty good score. So I hope you enjoyed this review. Feel free to check out any of my other album reviews. Generally, I review kind of rock metal, progressive metal in particular, on this channel, and I also cover a bit on fantasy and fantasy literature and fantasy TV, fantasy films too. It's kind of the other half of the channel, if you will. Tomorrow's video will be a bit on the Silmarillion again, and then I'm also going to do more of my random picks series, which is where I pick 3 random CDs from a box of my old CD collection. Hope you enjoyed the video today, and I'll see you next time. Take care, have good weekends. Bye.